To my channel, Coin Lady, and a warm welcome back. And a conflagration ensues. Everything has been going downhill recently, in case you hadn't noticed. From 62,000 to 54 cents, XRP dropped like a rock. Conventional markets, and the stock market in particular, are in a state of complete collapse. Whatever happened that day was supposedly the worst since the COVID-19 catastrophe in 2020. Valuations in the trillions of dollars vanished from existence. The world is going insane right now. Dogs and cats developing a friendship. A complete and utter loss of logic, isn't it? However, will the world end as we know it? No way. I strongly disagree. I will tell you what has triggered this whole thing and also give you some opinions from experts on what this implies for the future. Have the crypto bullish prices peaked? Is there any hope for a turnaround? I think you'll feel a lot better by the time the video is over if you're even slightly worried about what we're going to discuss in it. We need to get to the bottom of this in a specific order, so let's figure out what triggered this. It has nothing to do with cryptography, really. Just because XRP is flawed doesn't mean its price dropped today. That is, the risk associated with assets, whether crypto or equities, is regarded similarly. Oh, yeah. That being said, we will touch on Bitcoin briefly before moving on to XRP. Based on the analysis of 4 or 5 XRP chart analysts, I have come to the following conclusion. XRP is the only coin I will not sell, especially in light of the recent decline. Now I'm going to tell you all this, but before I do, I want to make it clear that I come from no financial background whatsoever. Do not buy or sell anything based on anything. I am not providing financial advice. Okay, I'll admit it, I'm merely an enthusiast who, for fun and as a pastime, enjoys making movies on YouTube about cryptocurrency. On Friday, August 2nd, 2024, at 1:42 p.m. Central Time, I am filming this video. Yes, I understand. Who needs a big price drop to kick off the weekend when we have this? Good vibes as we head into the weekend. XRP has made a little comeback. As I mentioned before, it dropped to around 54 cents. Over 56 cents presently. Sorry, but Bitcoin dropped as low as $62,420. With a price tag of $62,887, it's now slightly higher than that. If you look closely, you can see that this is from radar hits, which wiped out $2.9 trillion worth of stock from the market this morning on fears of a global recession. It was the worst day since the COVID-19 pandemic. What I do recall is the 2020 crash, although the exact low point at which a Bitcoin price dropped is fuzzy at best. I do recall that XRP dropped to 10 cents, albeit briefly, on the day of that huge crash. I know many of you were there. Since its price was plummeting, the lowest I could get it was 15 cents. Clearly, this is a picnic. I don't see the big deal. Things like these occur frequently. The market nosedives. A lot of people are getting scared. People in 2020 thought the world was going to end because, oh my goodness, the market was tanking. You need to step back and look at the larger picture. XRP is worth $10. Did it spell the end of days? It was definitely not, I'm afraid. Actually, if you skip ahead a year, in March of 2020, XRP had dropped to 10 cents. Just over a year later, it had risen to $2, a 20-fold increase, in what feels like the end of the world right now. Nevertheless, is that accurate? The markets will not function unless you believe that society as we know it is coming to an end, in the same way that the United States of America is about to vanish into thin air. I mean, it's reasonable to be scared if you believe that. On the other hand, do you think that follows from a logical standpoint? This way, isn't it? Is this it? Clearly not, but when did this happen, though? Yahoo Finance has this tool that illustrates how investors are reacting to bad news. Equities are crashing following this week's labor report. So, here's something to think about. In general, the market is going crazy, and it has nothing to do with XRP or any cryptocurrency in particular. Specifically, Considering that the fundamentals have never been stronger, does it make sense to sell XRP now that its price has dropped? In light of the overall situation, would it be prudent to sell XRP? Here, the choice is ultimately up to you. However, is XRP fundamentally flawed? If you ask me to argue the answers, I will. No, obviously, XRP alone would cause a decline if that were the case. Sure, it's not exactly everything, but you're getting pretty close. No. The following is an explanation of what has happened since the stock market crashed in early August. A string of weaker-than-expected economic statistics, topped by the jobs report for July, has set off a frequently monitored recession indicator. Along with the Nasdaq Composite, the S&P 500 has fallen about 4%. The Nasdaq index is in a correction after losing almost 10% from its most recent high, which it set in mid-July, and the moves that were designed to extend the drawdown by more than 5%. Despite the availability of free money, the markets continue to view negative news as negative news. Outlook investors are even starting to ask recession-related questions and have started to review their economic slowdown playbooks to weaker than expected, wrote Scott Kroner, head of U.S. equity strategy at Citi, in a letter to clients on Friday. This week's selling was initially triggered by the biggest weekly unemployment claims reading in over a year and the lowest U.S. industrial activity since November 2023, according to data printed on Thursday. Well, that's all. Not only does the stock market fall along with cryptocurrency, but everything falls in tandem, not only XRP. Indeed, it is the situation at the moment. As of this writing, the Russell 2000, which I verified before taping it, has fallen by nearly 4%. The world is on fire right now, and it's only 1:46 p.m. Central Time. The Guardian's fear of us is evident here. Falling tech shares tremble global markets as recession looms. On Friday, stock markets around the world experienced a precipitous decline due to rising concerns about a potential U.S. economic downturn and disappointing earnings from technology companies. This sell-off was further exacerbated by a poor employment report that revealed the U.S. jobs market was cooling down quickly, which contributed to an already high unemployment rate. Many in the economic community are worried that the U.S. economy may be weaker than the Federal Reserve had anticipated, which might lead to a drastic reduction in borrowing costs in September or possibly an emergency rate cut earlier in the year to stimulate demand. The most intriguing part is about to happen. Regardless of whether the market wants rate cuts or not, my personal opinion is that they should happen. Rate reductions are desired by the market. Thus, it appears to be happening in September with near certainty. The market is placing its bets on it, isn't it? However, there is currently discussion of the possibility, and this is all conjecture based on people being people, that it may arrive even sooner. How then does the market react in such a situation? The market wants this, and we know it. It's crystal clear, isn't it? This is what the market desires. Assuming this occurs, the market's reaction is to increase the number, correct? Listen, I'm only stating that I am not making any predictions about prices. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel and give it a thumbs up. Until then, farewell.